And now it is time for our Stream of the Week. For those of you who don't know, what we do is every week, one of us picks a horror movie that is only available via streaming. Totally random. We haven't seen it. We know nothing about it. May have seen a trailer. Maybe you've seen read a synopsis of it. Whatever. We watch the movie and then we talk about it, give our review of it. And this last week was my pick, and my pick was this brand new movie that's on Netflix called Day Shift, and that stars Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg. So here is the synopsis. A hardworking, blue-collar dad who just wants to provide a good life for his quick-witted 8-year-old daughter. His mundane San Fernando Valley pool cleaning job is a front for his real source of income, hunting and killing vampires. This movie, in my opinion, wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It wasn't amazing, but it wasn't bad. After I watched it, I thought, if this movie had released in 2002, it would have been a huge hit. Although now it seems more like it's a very by-the-numbers buddy cop movie.
Yeah.
Kind of like Blue Streak.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever saw that movie with Martin Lawrence and Luke Wilson.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So basically, there's a union of vampire hunters. Jamie Foxx's character wants to get into it, so they pair him up with the blue-collar, behind-the-desk pencil pusher guy,
Dave Franco,
who's nerdy and isn't as cool as him. You've seen this type of movie a million times, except for the vampire part. It's very cheesy. The character, the main villain is very cliche. A lot of the lines are cliche. It's very by the numbers, but it's entertaining. I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. I rolled my eyes at a few scenes, but I rolled my eyes in a good way. You know, it was fun, but it was also, you don't have to take it seriously. If you don't take it seriously, then you'll enjoy it. It had some really cool action scenes. I think the person who directed it maybe worked on was a stunt coordinator for the John Wick movies, if I'm not mistaken. I enjoyed that, but it did get a little overdone. I didn't know these many vampires knew kung fu.
Well, that's
it got a little too actiony,
over the top.
Well, okay, a couple things. One is we were just talking about what a non-horror movie would make a good horror movie. And my pick was John Wick. This was made. This is John Wick horror. I can't believe they did. I didn't even know about that.
They stole your idea.
They did. They stole my idea. It was already made. So yeah, that was one thing. And maybe it's just us coming off of one of the worst movies of all time, that it was like, hey, this is a real movie. I just liked it way more than, how you just described it. Yeah, I kind of agree with, it was fun. But yeah, I just kept thinking the whole movie, wow, this is like, these vampires are moving super quick. They know kung fu. We were just talking about this, and now this is, I don't think anybody's done that. Can any of you guys think of a movie where the vampires acted like this? Like, this
where
is
they were
totally new.
super.
Yeah.
Oh, Blade.
Kung Fu, okay, but they weren't.
Not to this extent. Yeah, this is
not
more
to this extent, and they weren't like classical vampires, right? Like, where they looked kind of like.
They were kind of known as Nosferatu. Some of them were.
Look up what they look like.
Like the old lady.
They're willing to walk outside in daylight with I think it was lotion or something in order to, and but they still burn. It depends.
No, right. I was talking about Blade. But basically, my point was that this was the first or one of maybe two where they've done vampires like this. We've talked in the past. Is it better the slow, creepy vampires or the fast-moving vampires? And this is obviously fast, and hey, they can fight. Like, that's cool. I thought that was cool and new. And again, I don't know if I'm just biased because of the worst experience of my life last week with John's pick of a I don't even know if you can call it.
Yeah, you don't want to call it a movie because that.
But back to this movie, I love the Snoop Dogg, man. I love Snoop Dogg in this, in the LA vibe, like the whole way it was shot. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely
definitely LA.
Yeah, and it just
I liked
cool.
it. I liked it.
Like the whole thing looked cool. The vampire, it was kind of by the numbers, but the plot wasn't terrible. It wasn't, you got to say, it was maybe a little dumbed down.
It was very dumbed down.
But, for a vampire movie, are you looking really for, to get involved? A deep involved story? I don't know. I don't know if you're looking for that. I don't know. I thought they're groundbreaking. I don't know if you can call it groundbreaking, way the vampires... No. Well, the way the vampires moved and how they did that and the way they filmed it. You're saying Blade. I don't know if I trust you on that because I didn't have that much of a. Maybe I'm upping this movie too much, but I didn't think Blade went. I know they did a lot of like fighting and stuff, but I didn't think it was more. They didn't showcase the vampires in Blade. I thought.
No, I'll agree. This is the most action-packed vampire movie I've seen.
Okay.
Like, granted, we talked from Dusk Till Dawn, yes, that was action-packed, but that's a different kind of action. That's like a barroom brawl. This is like stunt-coordinated, kung fu hijinks.
John Wick vampires, exactly what we thought. Yeah. I can't believe it. Yeah, so I don't know. I liked it a little more than you, I thought. I'd probably give it I was going to give it like an 8. I'd give it like an 8.
I gave it a 7.
Okay.
So that sounds about right. The only things that I'll say this, and I don't have this criticism a whole lot for movies. A lot of times my criticism is like, oh, you did this wrong, or you did too much of this. In my opinion, there were 2 things we should have seen more of in this movie. The first thing we should have seen more of was the neighbor that moved in. It's just like she's there. And it's like, oh, hey. And then I'm not going to spoil the plot, but then she becomes integral to the plot. All of a sudden, like out of nowhere.
Oh, I knew that, though. Like I saw that coming.
Oh, yeah, I saw that coming a mile away, too.
Yeah. But still, they could have had a 5-minute scene with her before.
Yeah, a little backstory.
Yeah.
A little backstory. And then the other one was there's a scene where Jamie Foxx and his partner goes to a house, and a pair of competing vampire hunters show up at the same house.
Yeah.
And these guys were awesome. We should have seen more of them. They should have been in the final scene.
They should spin-off.
They should do a spin-off of these guys.
Yes.
We didn't see enough of these guys.
Yeah. So I thought they were going to come back, and they unfortunately didn't.
Well, and the other thing about you were saying that it was kind of the partner is kind of done and played up. I thought Dave Franco did it was funny. Like they played off of each other really well. Yeah, it might have been you've seen it before, but it was done good. It was done really good.
Well, that's why I gave it a 7, in spite of all my criticisms of it and the things that that I said it was a by the numbers cliche buddy cop movie with vampires. It was still an enjoyable. That's the kind of movie you make a bowl of popcorn. Yeah. And you just sit down and enjoy it.
And by the way, I read that it was $100 million budget. We were kind of debating, and I know we've talked in the past about how
high versus low.
Yeah, high versus low. I thought the effects were really good in this movie. The vampire effects were really good.
A lot of vampires falling backwards on their necks.
Yeah.
Every vampire fell backward on its neck at one point in that movie.
Gymnastics type of stuff. Yeah.
I was watching it with my son, and he was like, "What is this, Cirque du Soleil?" Like, they're all doing crazy contortions and stuff. It would, but it looked cool. It didn't look. Everything looked great. $100 million. That's what it gets you. If you do this with less money, everything's going to be cheesy and dumbed down. I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was my thing. John, go for it.
Well, you got the final word, buddy.
Two things I liked about the movie was the action scenes were incredible, very enjoyable. Acting obviously was good. Special effects were good. But the only thing I didn't like about it was Two things. Dave Franco's character, even though, I agree, he did a good job acting, and, he did what he can best, but, like, to be honest, the guy's he's a little good-looking guy, and the characters are supposed to be like a nerd, kind of, goody two-shoes, and I just kind of think they kind of cast the wrong actor for that. I think they had an actor that fit that type of character. It would have made more sense and more believable.
Are you telling me there's no good-looking guy that could work behind a desk and be a nerd?
You don't see that a lot of movies.
I kind of see
in the world.
Mike, what you're saying?
I could see what John is saying. Like if they used and I don't know the actor's name, the kid from Kick-Ass, who plays the villain's kid.
McLovin.
McLovin.
Yeah. Like somebody like that.
He could work. Yeah.
Yes.
Or DJ Qualls. You throw DJ Qualls in there.
I can see that too. Yeah,
something like that. I can see that.
And the other thing I had beef with the most of this film, well, hold on, let me say one last thing. The humor was also kind of 8th grade type of humor, talking about peeing the pants and stuff, all that crap. I didn't like the humor that much.
That's not like I said.
Like I said, I like the LA scene. That really intrigued. It was really intriguing. Yeah. But here's my number one beef with the whole movie. In the whole movie, there's some scenes where Jamie Foxx kills these vampires by beheading them.
Okay.
Wait, what are you going to say, Mike?
Avoid spoilers as much as you can.
Okay, I figured you'd say that. So there's something happens to Dave Franco's character that you think
I know what you're saying. That's all you're saying.
Right.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So
it didn't make sense.
Yeah. What happened to Dave Franco's character just did not make sense to me, and it just disturbed me because it didn't happen with the rest. So I'll leave it the spoiler off to that. So,
yep.
But other than that, I am going to go with Mike's rating. I give it 7 chainsaws.
Nice. So it was definitely a worthwhile watch.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't that bad.